Hey, what's going on, y'all? Sean or Mustang09 bringing you a new video, another install of the Beast, my F250, as I like to call it. She's a 2017 XLT, and this is part of that three-part upload that I was discussing. This is the Valance upload. So what we have here is the two-wheel drive Valance that comes on the F250s. As you can tell from my four-wheel drive truck, this Valance here is quite large. It's huge. So what I'm going to do is I'll take a measurement of this versus this one, and so that you can see the difference on paper. And then what I'll also do is I'll set the camera up in a manner to where you can see the truck with the factory one versus the two-wheel drive, and we'll do like a side-by-side just to see how much taller the truck looks with the two-wheel drive version on there, which I think is going to be a big impact. Tools for this install are an 8mm socket. You can use a deep well or a short one with extension, and also an 18mm socket. To install this, it's really a series of 8mm screws that are up underneath the Valance. I think there's like 17 or 19. I think 2 of them stay in place. I'm not sure, but there's a ton of screws underneath there, as you can tell. So we'll go through and take all those out. One other part that you're going to want to remove are these things that people online refer to as claws, or the Prius crushers. They stick up underneath the four-wheel drive Valance, and what they do is they prevent cars from going up underneath the truck if there ever were to be an accident. They're not necessary. You don't have to have them on there, so I'm going to take them off. If I don't, they'll poke down below this and it'll look like they have fangs or something. They look silly, so just go ahead and remove those. There's like 4 bolts on each one. Super simple. So what we're gonna do now is I'll measure these real quick and show you the difference, or actually I'll measure this when it gets off the truck. So we'll just go underneath there and remove that one, take a measurement. But first I need to take an image of this in the same spot that I'll take the two-wheel drive one in, so you guys can see the difference. So let me do that real quick. What you're seeing here is the factory four-wheel drive Valance on the truck. This is going to be our point of reference. When I put the two-wheel drive version on, I'm going to put the camera back in the same exact spot so that you guys can get an idea of the difference it makes putting the smaller Valance on the front and actually giving the truck the look as if it's been lifted. So we'll zoom out. This is a point of reference. I'll put the camera back here, but for now we're going to go under the truck and I'll show you how to get this one out of there. So like I said earlier, we're going to use an 8mm with an extension, crawl up underneath here. The beauty of having a big truck is you don't need a lift. You just slide underneath. Alrighty, so directly from under the center of the truck, you can see the screws we have in place here. Those are what we're going to be taking out, a series of those up underneath this rear Valance. And then it should come out, so we'll give that a shot, and if it doesn't, we'll figure out what else needs to come. One quick tip I will give you guys is wear some eye protection. I'm gonna go get my sunglasses because dirt does get up underneath here and it does get between those screws and the Valance, and so it's falling down. Wear some eye protection so you don't get dirt in your eyes. I'm gonna grab my sunglasses real quick. So getting all these out took a little longer than I thought. It's funny because some of them were to the point where the ratchet wouldn't ratchet, and then it was really too tight to get with your finger, so you had to use your hand and the ratchet. It just took a little longer than I thought, but still super easy, not complaining. There were 17 total. I have 9 in a pile here and 8 over there. But there are 2 screws remaining on top of the bumper. One right here, or they're not from underneath, they're on top. There you go. So on top that are holding the Valance in. One on either side, I'm going to pop those out, and then this Valance should be free. So there's a wiring harness that connects the fog lights, I believe, and it's clipped to the inside of the Valance. I'm just going to pull those little tabs out. They're just push tabs. I'll pull those out, and then the Valance should be free. So right here you can see where the wiring harness connects into this Valance. It's just a little push tab. You can see I got this one out here, these little teeth. So I'll go ahead and pull this one out, and then the Valance will be completely free. Just like that, the Valance is off now. Yeah. And this view here really gives you a good idea of these little like claw things I was telling you about, these little triangle pieces. They're held on by 4 bolts that are in there. Let me get the size and I'll tell you which socket will take them off, and then we'll get those removed. So the nuts up top are held on by an 18mm socket. We're going to get those out. There's 4, like I said, 4 on each side holding them in. And then I believe we're going to have to knock the studs through so that we can pull these little front crusher, anti-crusher pieces off. I don't know what they really are called, but they do really look like claws or almost like fangs on this thing. So I'm going to get the rest of these out and I'll show you exactly what these are. I will say, I wish I had my impact for this, because these bad boys are in here. They're in there tight. So the last and fourth nut is out. And what I found out is these aren't really studs. They're like U-shaped bolts. So you just kind of push them in and they'll fall down. And then you'll fetch them out of the frame rail. So here is the little claw piece that was in there. It's really thick metal actually. And here are what the studs look like that hold that into place. So you have two sets of these. Just fetch them out of the frame rail. And we won't be reusing them. So go ahead and put them back on and set them aside for if you ever want to put them back on for any certain reason. Here you guys can see the two valences side by side. I'm going to set you guys down here on my little bendy tripod and we'll measure these guys out. So the factory front valence is coming in at, let's see, right about 6.5 inches, where the two-wheel drive version comes in at about almost 3.5. So what is that? 3 3/8 or something like that. So nearly 3 inches shorter, which is awesome. I think it's going to make it for a great look on the truck and give it that lifted feel that I want it to have until I can actually do my leveling kit. So far the install's going great. It's a little more ratcheting than I would have thought. But if you have like one of those little power tools or something that like my buddy Trevor from Motion Auto TV uses, it's like a Milwaukee Impact, but it's like a 90-degree one, and that thing would have came in so clutch right now. I wish I have one of those. And just because this install has taken this long, I may actually go buy one in case I have to do stuff like this again, just because it seems like it comes in so much handy. So we're gonna get the two-wheel drive one mounted up and get you guys back over. I marked my spot earlier where the camera was. You can see this little configuration here. So that's where we took the reference shot earlier, so you guys can see where it is when I put the two-wheel drive one on. But yeah, there's those claws out, four-wheel drive ones off, two-wheel drive going on. Let's do this. There are two things you'll need to transfer off of the four-wheel drive to the two-wheel drive, and that are these clips here on the very end that hold the screw in place. So we'll remove this and add it onto our two-wheel drive version. But don't forget these, you'll need it, or the ends of your valence will sag, and you don't want that. So we're gonna pull these off. So I want you guys to know that I am just like you. I'm a normal dude who just likes to work on my cars and do installs, and I also have issues. So let me show you what I was running into under the car. So you can see this little clip here on the bumper. This is like a nut on the other side. It clips onto this and then you screw on, and it's threaded on this side to accept the screw. Well, those are all underneath here holding this valence on, and one slid loose on the bumper rail. But what the issue is that this little air dam piece was blocking where I needed to get. So I had to take these 4 screws out so I could pull this back and get my hand in there and realign this little, I don't even know what you call it, a bumper nut, a screw nut, I'm not even sure. But so I finally got it back in place. It was the one straight up in the middle here, so I couldn't get my hand in from the side to fix it. So now I've got to redo this. But I just wanted to I really just wanted to show you guys that I do live in a world with errors, and that everything doesn't go perfectly smooth on every install, even though it's very straightforward. There's just little things that hold you up and can be a hiccup along the way. So it's an easy fix. I just, like I said, undid 4 screws, was able to slide my hand back into place and get that bumper nut or whatever, I think it's like a fender nut maybe is what they call that, and got it back into place. So now I'm just gonna finish up the job and we'll go take another reference shot to show you the difference this thing makes. One quick tip I want to give you guys is when you go to reinstall your valence, don't tighten every screw down from like one side to the other. Go in and get them all hand tight first, and then go back with your 8mm socket and tighten everything up snug. That way everything lines up perfect. I noticed when I started tightening them down going one side to the other, I had to move the bumper or the valence a little bit, and it wasn't lining up as easy, so I had to go back and loosen them up. So finger tight first, and then tighten everything down with your tools. And there we have it, guys. There it is with the two-wheel drive valence. I think it looks so much better. It looks way taller than before. It's insane. I'm going to keep saying that. I think it looks great. There's a little bit wider shot so you can see the comparison of the before and after. I absolutely love it. It turned out awesome. And that's it, guys. That's this episode. I want to thank you so much for watching this episode and making it this far in. And also, thank you for showing so much love on that steering wheel install. You guys came over, smashed the like button, and just showed it a lot of love. And that install was super simple, and I appreciate you guys watching. I think the valence turned out phenomenal. It looks great. This is part part 2 of a 3-part series, so keep your eyes open for the tailgate mod that we're going to do later. It's the tailgate damper that softens the way the tailgate goes down. It's a super simple install, and I think you guys are really going to like that and appreciate it. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can see that video go live. Other than that, guys, if you have any questions or comments about the truck or any of the mods I've done to it, leave that down in the comment section below. I would love to answer those for you. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, like I said, so you can see more videos of the truck and the Mustang coming out all the time. Other than that, it's been Sean Mustang 09. I want to thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, boys. Peace.